Gorilla Tag has not just had many horrors, but also some disturbing and not so talked about situations. In this video, I will be explaining the entries on this iceberg and filling you in on some obscure Gorilla Tag incidents. Instead of boring you guys with all the details of the most talked about entries, I'm going to sprinkle in information on each layer of the iceberg throughout this entire video. So let's just get started on this iceberg. Infection. This entry refers to the most popular game mode in Gorilla Tag. It's pretty simple. At the start of each round of infection, a random player becomes a lava monkey, and when they tag other people, they too become lava monkeys, until everybody in the server is tagged and the next round starts. Mod menus. There are a lot of mod menus for Gorilla Tag, most of them not being allowed and being bannable. Mod menus can only be installed and used on a computer by modifying your game files. They are mostly used to cheat and gain advantages in game modes, or just for messing with other players. Mod menus are also the biggest cause of ghost sightings in Gorilla Tag, with most of the ghosts just being players using a mod menu of sorts. Steam price increase. Around the time where modding was extremely popular in Gorilla Tag, another axiom, the developers of Gorilla Tag increased the price on Steam to 20 USD to prevent people from creating new accounts when banned from modding, or just to prevent modding altogether. This change made a bunch of modders angry, but also might have stopped some people from ever trying out Gorilla Tag. Quest mods. Mods on the Quest version of Gorilla Tag don't really exist, but people have made almost identical copies of Gorilla Tag, but with mods installed, that you would only be able to get on PC. But these copies of Gorilla Tag either don't have servers or are really inactive. Blank tag. Gorilla Tag's movement system is open source, meaning anybody could download it and use it in their own game, and that's what many people have done. There are so many Gorilla Tag fan games, and some have actually gained a fair bit of popularity. There are also a bunch of fan games that just straight up look exactly like Gorilla Tag, but with a twist or mods or something. And a lot of these fan games are horror games. British discrimination. If you're playing in a public server in Gorilla Tag and see a bottle of water, British person, most of the time, other players will be toxic to that person, sometimes even taking it a bit too far. This is a pretty bad problem in Gorilla Tag, as the community and every community is supposed to be nice, inclusive, and fun for everybody. And this is pretty much the complete opposite of that. Gorilla Tag is shutting down. This entry most likely refers to the videos on YouTube or TikTok saying that Gorilla Tag will be shutting down soon, or something dumb like that. Remakes. I'm not that sure as to what this entry is talking about, but I think it's probably the fan games of Gorilla Tag that look identical to the real game, which I talked about earlier. They most likely do this by completely ripping Gorilla Tag's game files, which is not allowed by the developers. The Stick. The Stick is a Gorilla Tag cosmetic that was initially for moderators of the game that were chosen by Lemming, the creator, because of their good behavior and natural leadership. But later on, the Stick was revamped. Now everybody that had the Stick still has it, but they are now forest guides, helping players learn the game and guiding people to report toxic players. Reports by someone with a stick has 20 to 30 times the power of a normal report from any other player. The reason why Lemming changed moderators to forest guides was to add paid moderators to the game that would have a motive to find toxic players and report them. November Hack Incident. The November Hack Incident, or more widely known as the Namo incident, was a time in Gorilla Tag where players would just randomly see this pink gorilla named Namo. Namo would stay perfectly still, clone itself, and sometimes teleport around the map. Around the time this incident was happening, Lemming released a patch note, made some changes that will hopefully help against the attack that causes dead flying gorillas, was said at the end of the patch note. Credits to Chivi and his video that informs about Namo and this weird incident. Gorilla Tag. Gorilla Tag is full of young players that are just innocently playing the game, and this can be the perfect hub for weird individuals looking for children.
Good evening, Twitter. This is your boy, Eat That Pussy 445.
Lemming's PlayFab account worth 25k. There isn't really any proof that Lemming's PlayFab account is really worth 25k, but a reason why people might think it's this expensive is because from my understanding, PlayFab is a service that handles a bunch of other multiplayer services like accounts and analytics. So if you were to buy Lemming's account, you may be able to ban users from Gorilla Tag or even delete their account. Lemming is a criminal. If you don't know who Lemming is, he's the creator of Gorilla Tag. I'm not really sure why this is an entry on this Iceberg because I haven't seen anything about Lemming committing any crime. But there is this comment that the OP made replying to another person, saying that it's just a theory him and his friend debunked a few months ago. Neckbreaker prank. The neckbreaker prank was a prank that people would use to prank other players, making them get pranked. Players would tell other players to jump and flick their heads upwards to do a glitch or to gain something, which would cause them to do it. And since Gorilla Tag is so immersive, players may forget they have a heavy electronic device on their big ass head. After flicking their head, the VR headset would get flung across the room and may cause the headset to break or get damaged. Though this prank could really mess up your VR headset, it won't cause any injuries to your neck. The name of the prank is just called the neckbreaker prank because when someone does it, in-game it looks like their neck breaks. Gorilla Tag Dark Web. The Gorilla Tag Dark Web might refer to people selling accounts or illegal mods, a type of market which is usually against any game's rules and terms of service, which everybody, including you and me, read every time we agree. Gorilla Tag merch. Gorilla Tag merch is, well, Gorilla Tag's merch. I don't really know why this is so low on the iceberg. Dead gorillas. Dead gorillas could mean players that used to play Gorilla Tag that have passed away, but this could also refer to the game mode Hunt. More specifically, when you get tagged, this message pops up on your watch. So that's the end of the explanation of this iceberg, and there's a bunch of topics I didn't talk about if you didn't notice, and that's because I'm assuming that a bunch of these topics are inside jokes or something that only the OP would know about. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and let me know if you guys want to see more videos. I'm almost about to hit 50 subscribers. I'm just one subscriber away, so if you could please subscribe, that would make my day. Thank you guys for watching.